Good rising, everybody. Good rising, good rising. Sorry, I was a little late. Just a little bit. Just like 2 minutes. Oh, wait. Let me turn up this sound here. Okay. Hi. Welcome to the Indigo Room, creating our reality talk show. Today we are going over the I AM Discourses, which we didn't get to go over on Wednesday night. So the topic is remove your attention from the outer. So come on in. Look at Linda's new picture. Hi, Linda. Look at her. Look at her. We love the new picture, Linda. That new picture makes you look 10 years younger. Well, you look 10 years younger. Not that the picture makes you look 10 years younger. You look 10 years younger. Gorgeous. Okay, what is this in my hair? Is that a gray hair? Is that a gray hair? I think it's gray. I think it's a gray hair, or it's Cleopatra. Right there. Right there. I can't get it. Okay. I think it's a gray hair. You know, gray hairs are unruly. Come on in. Come on in the room. Welcome to the Indigo Room. Oh, I made it. Unlike Wednesday night when I didn't make it. What happened Wednesday night? I made it through a whole week of working this new job. Yes, gray hairs are unruly. They don't cooperate. They don't cooperate. So I made it through a whole week of working at this new job. Praise God. Hallelujah. Yes, I did. And it was a challenge. And so I had everything set up for Wednesday night. I was good. And traffic said, oh, no, you're not going to make it. And I didn't get home until 7:30. I was texting Linda and behind the scenes. I was like, Linda, I'm still on the bus. And so I didn't make it. And I had to reschedule the show for today. And here we are. And with Good Rising doing the I AM Discourses. And I'm so happy that I'm back here with you guys. So we're going to go over what we were supposed to go over on Wednesday night. We're going to do it just like we did with Neville last week. We're going to do it this morning. So I hope you all had a great weekend. I hope, things were going good. This is a really good chapter. So if you haven't read it yet, man, it was exactly what I needed for the entire week so that I could get through this job. And I'm going to tell you how I used my I am statements all this week. I was like, let me tell you something. You can be working a job. You can be doing something that is, while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing, you can call on your I am consciousness all up in the middle and through it. And you will be surprised at the things that will manifest for you and that will show up for you, like it happened to me this week. Because I was under the weather. This new schedule has me up early, like 4:00 in the morning to get to this new job at 7:00 in the morning. The shift starts at 7:15. And if you know me, you know I'm not that kind of person. I don't get up that's not what I do. I don't get up at the crack of dawn. No, I like to sleep in. 7:00 is good for me. 4:30 is not good. Nang is in the house. I want everybody to welcome my friend Nang. He is from Spain, and he and I have been friends, really good friends. Well, he's from Portugal, but he lives in Spain. And he and I have been really great friends since 2008. And we met in Second Life. Remember I told y'all about Second Life. This is what I'm telling you. Got to get in there. So I want to thank all of our new subscribers. We have some new subscribers this week. Welcome. Welcome to the Indigo Room. And we really appreciate you. And if you are a new subscriber, make sure that you hit the bell so that you get notifications about when we go live and when we upload new content. So I know that everybody, the schedule got thrown off. And the schedule is thrown off because my schedule is thrown off. So because my schedule is thrown off, the Indigo Room schedule is thrown off. But we're still going to do the I AM Discourses. We're still going to read chapter 20. And this is a really great chapter for you all. And it's a really great chapter for me. I do want to also say right here at the beginning, I want to thank Sharon Flavors for her love donation. We love you, Sharon. And we know that everything is well in your world. And thank you so much for that awesome love donation. It was amazing, quite unexpected. And thank you so much. I love you very much. My junior high school friend. Also, if you do want one-on-one coaching, the information is in the description below. I am open and available. I'm available now. I wasn't available last week, but I'm available now. I'm available now that I got my schedule somewhat, like, I'm getting used to my schedule. But I wound up getting a cold this week just because I think my resistance was a little low, and I'm not used to this whole new thing. And when I get up in the morning, it's dark, and when I come home at nighttime, it's dark. So it's just like, one big dark day, working in a dark place. So I have to call in all the light that I know to be able to get through it. If you have some friends or family that are not on YouTube and you want to share the Indigo Room with them, you can share the videos, but they can also watch us live on the indigoroom.org website. Like right now, if you go there right now, we're live right now on the indigoroom.org. Yay! Also, we have a new blogger on the website. My sister Susan Daly, she's blogging, and you can check out her blog. You go to the website, theindigoroom.org, just scroll down a little bit. And her new blog, which is awesome, which I have to post everywhere now, is called Universe Speaks. And it's a really good one. It'll make you laugh a little bit. It'll make you think. It's very on point with what we continue to discuss here in the Indigo Room. And it's Universe Speaks, Seeing the Unseen. It is a really great article. I encourage you all to check it out at theindigoroom.org. Okay, so let's get started with the reading. Thank you, Linda. We are on chapter 20 of the I AM Discourses. And like I said, it is a really, really powerful chapter. And it is what I used to get through this week. Because, child, it was a week for me. A week. All right, where am I now? Here it is. It's fairly long, so I'm going to try to get through the most important points. Yeah, you enjoyed it? You enjoyed the Susan's blog? It was really good. It was perfect. Also, don't forget your Indigo Room mug. Joy on one side, love on the other, Indigo Room in the front. You can get that at theindigoroom.org. So the discourse for today, which is in chapter 20, if you do not have the book, I suggest that you pick it up. It's a really, really powerful book, and it talks about how to use your I am presence and your I am statements. And this one chapter is what got me through the entire week this week. It is with great rejoicing that many who have been observant of this accomplishment, we're going to start with the discourse. We're not reading the invocation. You can read that on your own. It's with great rejoicing that the many who have been observant of this accomplishment see how truly the students are entering into the mighty I am presence, and how the things that have been disturbing are being dissolved and are dropping away as though they had never been. Hey, Barb. Hi, Barb. Beloved students, can you realize how great our rejoicing is? We have trod the pathway of attainment into the great freedom of mastery over all limitation. We rejoice to see you entering into this presence, which, if maintained, that is the key right there. If maintained, will bring you certainly and surely to the same freedom. It is only when the outer becomes sufficiently obedient, giving all power to the great inner presence, that the one finds peace and rest in this mighty acknowledgement. That is the key phrase right there. I just want to say the key phrase is maintained. If maintained, how do you maintain that when you got so much wiki wacky going on? How is that possible? Aha, you can do it. I'm going to tell you, you can do it. In that peace and rest flows a mighty river of energy, like a mountain stream flowing through a fertile valley, lined with flowers and perfect vegetation. So in the peace that passeth understanding, do you move more and more, finding that eternal river of energy flowing into and through your being, spreading its blessing and opulence into your life and experience everywhere you go. While it is true that the intelligence is the channel through which you must receive, yet as you feel, here we go. You know how many times this book says feel? Do you know how many times this book says to feel? Feel with deep sincerity the truth of the I am presence. You will find the stillness becoming greater and greater until one day thou shalt see the door of thy creation open wide before thee, and thou shalt step forth with open arms into that freedom, inhaling the fragrance of the pure atmosphere of the etheric world, wherein thou wilt be able to mold that plastic substance into the perfection of everything upon which thy desire is held. But it must be maintained. So how do you maintain that in the middle of wiki-wacky nonsense that you might be going through? And now I get why I'm probably at this daggone job. And I say daggone job because it is a daggone job. It's a wiki-wacky job. But now I get, because I couldn't understand. I was like, okay, God, why am I here? Why? This is not me. What am I doing here? Why am I here? Well, now I get it. Because, I think it was, who said this? Moon Vibes. Moon Vibes said this last week. She said that God was probably, I'm paraphrasing. You can go back in the video and watch the video and see what she said. But I'm paraphrasing. Hey, Katrina. Hi, welcome. Good rising. I'm going to put the link right up here for last week's show. If you missed it, you'll be able to, once this is done, see it up here. But what she said was that I was probably being, God was putting me in that position for something stronger. And now I get it. It makes sense. She was probably right. I think she was right. I think Moon Vibes is right. You are making such splendid progress. Do not let any fear of persons, places, conditions, or things interrupt or disturb you, for the presence of the light stands before you, beckoning you on. I didn't like my wood. Beckoning you on that you may be held in its fond embrace, receiving of its boundless riches of every description which it holds in store for you. And we didn't tickle our amygdala. We got to do that too. So we're going to stop for a minute because I really want you guys to get this. And I, just jumped into the reading and I forgot to tickle our amygdala. And we need to do that. So I'm going to take a pause for a moment. I apologize. We're going to tickle our amygdala right now. So I want you to close your eyes. And if you don't know where your amygdala is, it's right here, right above the temples. Oh, I almost burnt my hair. My hair on fire. Hold on. It's right here, right above your temples. So what we're going to do is imagine, you're going to use your imagination to tickle your amygdala. And when your amygdala is clicked open, your frontal lobe is lit up, and you'll be able to understand a lot better than when your amygdala is closed in fear and, doubt. So I want you to just close your eyes. It's only going to take a minute. Close your eyes. Imagine that you have a feather in your hand. Feel it. Really feel it. Look at the color of it. What color is your feather? Feel the bristles of your feather. Are they soft? Are they brittle? Okay, really, really get what your feather looks like in your imagination. And this helps also to get you to flex your imagination muscle. And then I want you to lift the feather up to the center of your forehead and slide it in. Imagine the feather going into the middle of your forehead, and then slide it over to the right and tickle your amygdala on the right. And then slide it over to the left and tickle your amygdala on the left. And then pull the feather out of your head. You should be smiling by now. And if you're not smiling, do it again. Okay, so now we get back to the reading. I just wanted to make sure that we did that because I didn't do that the last last two shows, and I apologize. So the light stands before you, beckoning you on, that you may be held in its fond embrace, receiving of its boundless riches of every description which it holds in store for you. Because there's riches in store for you, and I know you may not feel it, and you may not believe it, but it's true. And as you come into the room, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Thank you. I shall now say something which may seem astonishing, but I assure you it is very true. Last night, as the question was asked, had you all been together before? I wish to say that it would not have been possible for you to have been drawn into this intensified action of the great inner law if you had not previously had harmonious association and training. So just like the group in this book was drawn together, we are all drawn together as well. Hey, Gary. Hi, Gary. Gary's in the house. Welcome, Gary. Good rising. So they were all drawn together by association and previous training, just as we are all drawn together here in the Indigo room by association and previous training. There's a reason why we are all drawn together. Just put that in your spirit. Let it settle. Okay? There's a reason why we here are all drawn together at this point in time since 2007. Okay? While it may be difficult at first for you to comprehend it, you are receiving intensified training, which heretofore has only been given after a 3-year probation in the retreat. Some of you have stored up treasures of energy. I mean by that, energy created by your conscious activity through your I am presence. Others have stored up treasures of light. Again, others have treasures of love. Others have gold and jewels, which were placed in keeping to be used in this embodiment that you're in right now. Several of you are on the point of releasing into visibility, into your hands, these stored up treasures. And I know that there's some of you in here right now in the show, specifically, that I know that about you. I know that. Do not think I have gone into fancy daydreaming, but I am calling this to your attention for your benefit and blessing. I wish each one of you to go by yourselves sometime during the day for at least 5 minutes and talk to your I am presence, something like this. Now, did you see that? He said 5 minutes. That's what I've been telling y'all from the beginning. Just 5 minutes out of your 24-hour bank that you get every day. Give yourself 5 minutes to talk to your I am presence. 5 minutes out of 24 hours. That's not even a lot of time. I'm not asking you to sit in meditation like be a Buddhist monk on a Tibetan mountain and just meditate. 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. That's how I started. 5 minutes a day. That's all I could do. In my mind, that's what I thought. Give yourself 5 minutes. Talk to your I am presence like this. Great, masterful presence, which I am, I love, I adore thee. I give back unto thee the fullness of all creative power, all love, all wisdom, and through this power which thou art, I give thee full power to make visible in my hands and use the fulfillment of my very desire. Now, you can add it the way you would like it, switch it up a little bit, right? But do that along those lines. I no longer claim any power as my own, for I now claim thee, the only and all-conquering presence in my home, in my life, in my world, and my experience. I acknowledge thy full supremacy and command of all things. And as my consciousness is fixed upon an achievement, your invincible presence and intelligence takes command and brings the fulfillment into my experience quickly, even with the speed of thought. Now, I'm going to tell you now what happened to me this week. While I was doing this heavy physical work, my body just was starting to hurt. Like I was just like, what am I doing here? This is insane. And then I said, okay. I got to call. I got to stand in my I am present, right? Because the work is very repetitive, and it's also very physical. So I'm lifting a lot of heavy boxes and I'm moving, in a repetitive motion all day. And you're standing on your feet for 10 hours. There's no place to sit. You cannot sit down ever at all unless you go on your break. And your break is 15 minutes. And I told you that it's like walking 18 football fields to get to the break area. So by the time you get to the break area, you sit down, your break is over, and you have to go back. And your lunch break is only 30 minutes. So you get 2 15-minute breaks and 1 30-minute lunch break. So in that time, it's the 10 full hours a day that you are standing on your feet, doing this repetitive motion all day. I was like, okay, God, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know. And as I was preparing for the show, I reread this book, right? Chapter 20. You see all my highlights. These are old highlights, all right? There's a reason why they were highlighted. So I reread this preparing for Wednesday night. And as I'm rereading it, I'm going, oh my goodness, oh my God, oh. this is what I stand in your I am presence, Sid. So I called, I just kept doing my normal, the ones that the statements and my go-to statements. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the presence filling my day with perfection. I am the presence I am the presence filling my day, my body, my experience with perfection. That's what I was doing. That's what I was using. And then on top of that, I would go back to I am, I know that I am free from this thing forever. And as I was doing that, my day went better, except for, the traffic. I couldn't stop that. But the next day, as I was doing that again, the next day, and I changed it. I revised my day from Wednesday night. I went to sleep and I revised the day. And I said, you know what? I need this to be a better day. I revised the whole situation in my imagination. And the next day was actually better. I woke up, I felt good, a little bit better anyway. And I went to work. And on Friday, I kept doing it. I kept doing it on Thursday, kept doing the same thing on Thursday. On Friday, I'm doing that. I'm doing it, and I'm going, my body, okay, I'm standing in my I am presence. By Friday, everything sort of switched up. Somebody came, and I was like, God, what I really want to do is go home. And I stood in my I am presence. Within like 5 minutes of saying, what I really want to do is go home, a supervisor comes by and says, would you like VTO, which is voluntary time off? And I went, you asking me, the new kid? Yes. I will take it. So by 9:30, 9:30, I got there at 7:15. By 9:30, I was on my way back home. I got in the bed, I went to sleep. And that happened again. That happened twice this week. So what I'm saying to you is, if you stand in your presence, I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know that they were going to ask me if I wanted voluntary time off. No, you don't get paid for it, but it felt better for me to be home than, to be standing there pushing myself. And Spirit made a way. Spirit made a way out of no way, which I thought was no way. I have to go through this whole entire day feeling like crap. And Spirit came along and said, oh, you're out. Go home. Because I said, what I really want to do, is go home and get in my bed. Spirit found a way for that to happen. So I just want to encourage you that if you stand in your I am presence long enough, stand in it, keep standing in it, keep like, even in the moments when you're doing stuff that, takes your attention, you can call on your I am presence right in the middle of it, right in the middle of you driving, right in the middle of things that are seeming to be wicky-wacky in your experience. I know that, I'm going to go back to the reading. I know that thou art ruler over time, place, and space. Therefore, thou requires only now to bring into the visible activity thy every perfection. I stand absolutely firm in the full acceptance of this, now and forever. I shall not allow my mind to waver from it. For at last I know we are one. That's when you get wicky-wacky, when you allow your mind to waver and, go all over the place, visit this person in your mind, cuss this person out in your mind, do all of these things. Because I wanted to cuss somebody out last week. This week was better. Oh, and the other thing was, the person, the other assistant, the one that, was giving me problems, she was gone all week. Apparently she got suspended. So I didn't even have to deal with her. How about that? Spirit made a way for me to have a better week this week. Below, beloved students, you may add or weave into this anything else you wish for your requirement. That's why I said that it is important that you figure out how you want to word this, because you can add or weave into this anything else you wish for your requirement. And I assure you, if you can live in this, and I shall endeavor to help you do so, you will experience the opening of the floodgates of God's abundance. How about that? Has anybody been using their I am, like really, really, even for 5 minutes a day? Put it in the chat. Let a sister know. Let the rest of us know. I think that I should explain to you the most important and most desirable thing that anyone can do is fix within his or her mind the one permanent necessity, and that is to keep at it. Keep at it until one reaches so deeply and firmly into this mighty I am presence that all love, light, good, and riches flow into his or her life and experience by an inner propelling power that not of outer personalities may at any time, anywhere, ever interfere with it. Barb said yes throughout the day. Good, Barb. That's probably why, you're feeling better physically, I think. This is the object of true training. This is why students were brought into the retreats, as they could be found ready or sufficiently progressed, because, as I have said before, it is easy enough to solve your problems as they come along. But I ask you, what good does it do to continue to solve problems unless you have something somewhere to which you can anchor that raises you above the consideration of any problem? Barb said, absolutely, healing fast. I'm telling you, the veil is so thin now. We're in a time where if you are standing in your I am consciousness, standing with your presence, standing with your higher self, staying within and going within and not coming out of that as often as we used to, and maintaining this energy, things are moving and manifesting for me, and I know for a lot of people, quicker and differently than they did before. But it's up to us to maintain that energy. Like, you can not maintain it and you'll solve some problems as they come along. But wouldn't it be better to be able to maintain it and not have to solve problems as they come along, but allow your I am presence to knock those problems out before they even arrive to you? That is the delicious part, to get to there, to get to the knowing that you have the ability to even knock out the problems before they show up as problems, because it won't even show up. To find your I am presence and anchor to it is the only desirable thing to do. Until you come to this point of firm anchorage in your great I am presence, of course, it is necessary to solve your problems as they come along. But how much better it is to enter in and set free that mighty presence, energy, and action, which has already solved the problems before they appear to you. Is that not more acceptable than to awaken every morning and find these problems coming up, staring you in the face as though they were something really important, which after all, they're not? Yet I am sure you will agree with me that some of them, or at least your outer sense about them, is that they are tremendously ponderous, that they're huge, that they're big, that they're overwhelming. We know that. We all have them. With your glorious obedience to the divine principle of created beings, you shall move along the pathway with your armor of invincible protection, buckled on, until the intensity of the very light that you enter into will no longer require the armor. So until you get to that point where it is sustained, where you don't have to constantly maintain it, there is some work to do, right? There is some work that you do have to do, and it relies upon you, it relies upon me to be able to get in there and stay. And of course, you're going to get distracted. Of course, problems are going to show up for you. But as you maintain it, as you keep it maintained, the problems get less and less. Gary said, so much quicker now. Yep. Things are showing up so much quicker now. Linda said, yes, Gary, so much quicker. Things are manifesting in a quicker way than we've ever seen them before. I know from than I've ever seen them. As is it not worth all the effort it takes to accomplish it, that you may ever move in this glorious freedom? Is it not worth the effort? If it's worth the effort to you, put a 1 in the chat, because I'm calling you all out right now. If it's worth the effort to you, put a 1 in the chat, and then ask your own self, can I be doing a little bit more on my own behalf? You don't have to answer that in the chat, but you have to ask yourself that question. Can I be doing a little bit more? And if you don't know how to do a little bit more, you could always join me, with the one-on-one coaching, and I can share with you how you can do that. But isn't it worth it? I think so. I know for me, like there was times when I used to get a cold, I'd be down for like a week. But standing in my I am presence and still taking the remedies, the physical remedies, but standing in my I am presence, not only was I given the benefit of going home that day, but I also started to feel better physically. Just standing in my I am presence all week. Every time, there was a lull or I caught myself, my thoughts were drifting off and I'm saying, oh my God, I just want to go home. I was like, wait. I got power here. I have power. I didn't know how that was going to manifest. But I didn't know how that was going to look. All I knew was that I wanted to go home. That was it. Bing, bam, bam. Within 5 minutes of me stating that, maybe even less. And I'm doing my I am conscious. That's what I'm doing all day long while I'm working. All day long. I'm standing in that. Bringing in more light. All day. I'm doing that. And I feel better physically. Still have a little bit of a nasally thing. You could probably hear it in my voice. But on Wednesday and Tuesday, my eyes were watering, stuff coming out of my nose, coughing, carrying on. My body was like, yeah, you need to lay down. But I in my mind, I had to go to work. I had to go to work. So when critical, as I have spoken these words, sorry. Is this not worth all the effort it takes to accomplish it, that you may ever move in this glorious freedom? So Linda and Barb said, yes, it is worth it. So only 2 of you think it's worth it. All right, well, I guess the rest of you don't think it's worth it. I feel like it's worth it. So it's 3 of us that think it's worth it. Is it not worth all the effort it takes to accomplish it, that you may ever move in this glorious freedom. Then when you awaken in the morning, you will no longer find these visitors appear. I'm ready for that. As I have spoken these words, I have held you each one in the searchlight of my vision, even without your permission, so that when you hear these words, you will feel the inner conviction of them with a strength which will delight you. When critical or disturbing thoughts try to find entrance into your consciousness, slam the door quickly and command them to be gone forever. Do not give them a chance nor time to gain a foothold, remembering always that you all have the strength and the sustaining power of the mighty I Am presence to do this. You have the power to do it, but we don't. We go down Wiki Wackyville and we hang out, we get on the Wiki Wacky train and we start driving down the Wiki Wacky town and village and state and country. That's what we do. But you have the power to slam the door on Wiki Wacky directly. Even if you can do it for 5 minutes, even if you can do it for 2 minutes, even if you can do it for 60 seconds, you have the power to do that. And even if the Wiki Wacky comes back, you still have the power to do that. If you remind yourself, wait a minute, I don't have to think this thought right here. I'm in control. You get out. Do not give them a chance nor time to gain a foothold, remembering always that you have the strength and the sustaining power of the mighty I Am presence to do this. Should you have difficulty in holding the door shut, because you're in the middle of a storm, the wind is blowing, you shut the door. Talk to your I Am presence and say, see here, I need help. See that this door to this disturbance is closed, and keep it closed forever. You can ask for help with that. Some of us are so stubborn that we don't want to ask for help. I was one of those people. Like, I could do this. Man, my mind thought it was in control of me for the longest time. Now I am in control of it, and I still ask for help. I still ask my I Am presence for help. I want you to get fixed in your consciousness that you can talk to your I Am presence the same as you could talk to me or any one of your friends, believing that I had limitless power, because I tell you, it is no idle comment when I say, and this is Saint Germain talking, when I say you can cause this mighty presence to handle every condition in your entire experience and raise you into its freedom and dominion of all things. Of all things. Just like I had it handle my job this week. And the funny thing is, I didn't even realize, I didn't make a conscious note of it until after I was on the bus. I was like, whoa. So I had to write it down in my manifestation journal. I manifested going home today. Because that's part of my abundance, you see. I know a lot of us think of abundance as, money and jewels and cars and things. But that was part of my abundance, taking care of my well-being, taking care of my health. Not believing what was going on in the outer. Because my mind was saying, well, you can't go home. You just started this job. They're not going to let you go home. You already came in late yesterday because you didn't feel good. So they're not going to let you go home today. Bam, bing, bang, bing. There it was. Do you want to go home? Yes. I'll take it. As some of you have already reached into the activity of the universal substance, and when they're talking about plastic and when they're talking about substance, they're talking about what holds the universe together, right? It's this thing that you can't see. It's substance. There is a substance that holds everything together, that is malleable, that we can mold into our own uses and experiences. So I want you to get fixed in your consciousness. I'm saying, as some of you have already reached into the activity of the universal substance, I want to call the attention of all of you to the fact that the substance of your bodies and this substance, seeming to be invisible to you, is immensely sensitive to your conscious thought and feeling, by which you can mold it into any form you wish. The substance of your body can, by your conscious thought and feeling, be molded into the most exquisite beauty of form. Your eyes, hair, teeth, and skin made dazzling with radiant beauty. Oh, Katrina said she's driving. It's worth it. So we got 4. Yay! 4 of us think it's worth it to do this consciously, to do this work. Hopefully, the majority of the rest of you think it's worth it. And if you don't think it's worth it, hopefully you'll figure out that it is worth it. For you, at least. This should be very encouraging to the ladies. And I'm sure it will be to the gentlemen, only they do not like to admit it. That as you form this consciousness, as you steady this consciousness, the substance of your body, by your conscious thought and feeling, be molded into the most exquisite beauty of form. Your eyes, hair, teeth, and skin made dazzling with radiant beauty. I know someone that's in this chat right now who knows about, using this energy to heal and heal themselves of some maladies that the doctor said were impossible to do. This should be very encouraging. Oh, I read that. Beloved brothers and sisters, when you look into the mirror, I have this by my mirror. If I could take you into my bathroom right now, you would see it. It's right by my mirror, and I say it every morning. I see it every morning, and I say it every morning. Beloved brothers and sisters, when you look into the mirror, say to that which you see there. And it's been on my mirror now for probably two years. I think 2 years. It was after, about 2 years. No, maybe a year. It was after the back injury of 2017. So I guess it's 2 years. It's 2 years. Was it 2017? I think it was. Yeah, because I've had Bay Street now 2 years, right? It's either 2017 or 2018. I think it was 2017. Beloved brothers, through the intelligence and beauty which I am, I command you to take on perfect beauty of form. For I am that beauty in every cell of which you are composed. You shall respond to my commands and become radiantly beautiful in every way, in thought, word, feeling, and form. Hey, Jackie, good rising, my love, or good afternoon in the UK. I am this always gets me when I read it in the morning and I say it out loud to myself. I am the fire and beauty of your eyes, and I carry forth this radiant energy into everything into which I look. I'm going to read it again, so you can come back and watch the replay. I don't know what number, where it would be, but come back and watch the replay. It says, through the intelligence and beauty which I am. So you can write this all down, come back, listen to it, write it down, put it up where you can see it in the morning in the mirror in your bathroom. Through the intelligence and beauty which I am, I command you to take on perfect beauty of form, for I am that beauty in every cell of which you are composed. You shall respond to my command and become radiantly beautiful in every way, in thought, word, feeling, and form. I am the fire and beauty of your eyes, and I carry forth this radiant energy into everything into which I look. Whew. Imagine telling yourself that every morning when you wake up. How you would feel as you go about your day knowing that you inspired yourself with those words. Thus you can cause to come into appearance the perfection which will give you all the encouragement you want to know that I am always the governing presence. I wish to say to you who desire your forms to become more symmetrical, start with your hands at your shoulders and bring them down over the body to the feet. Feel the perfection or symmetry of the form you wish. Through your hands will go the energy or quality which you desire to manifest. If you will try this with deep, earnest feeling, you will be amazed at the results. And this is also on my wall, right next to the statement about beauty. Yeah, so it was 2017. And I started doing that with my, to my body. And at the time, I was 200 and something pounds. Okay? Right now, I'm about 165, 170. I did change my diet, but I had never changed my diet prior to me just starting this statement. I never had the willpower to do it. Never had the willpower. And my body has physically changed. I'm thinner. And I believe that it started with me putting the statement on my wall and putting and doing the movements with my hands over my body after I get out the shower. So through your hands will go the energy or quality which you desire to manifest. If you will try this with deep, earnest feeling, you will be amazed at the results. This is the greatest reducer in the world. This, I assure you, will cause the flesh, as it comes into more beautiful symmetry and perfection, to become firm and yet supple in every way, because you are sending the energy of the I am presence through these cells, causing them to obey your commands. This may sound ridiculous. And when I first read it and I decided that I was going to do it, it sounded ridiculous to me. People come up to me and I don't even have lotion on. They touch my skin and they go, "Oh, you're so soft. What lotion do you use?" I'm like, "I don't use lotion. I don't know what you're talking about." This may sound ridiculous, but I tell you, it is one of the best, surest, and most perfect ways to bring about the perfection of the body. I tell you, anyone who will practice this will bring the body into any condition that one's desire. But it's the key word right here. The key word is practice. You have to practice it. You can't just do it one time. It took me a long time because some days I wouldn't do it. Some days I would forget. Some days I look in my mirror and I'm going, "Well, I don't have time for that. I got to run." But I just kept doing it. I just kept bringing it back into my practice. I want the students to get the feeling of the idea that they are masters of their form, because we are. Their minds, their worlds, and can inject into them whatsoever they wish. The pure and perfect life of God is flowing through you every instant. Why not switch off the old design and switch on the new? Do you not see how important it is to perfect the body? Because, you know, as Amaya said when she came in, it's important for us to take care of the carriage. This is your carriage, this body, this is your vehicle. What can the inner presence do with a body that is sick or out of harmony all the time? When this is the case, the attention becomes so fixed upon the body that the I am presence cannot get the attention but a little part of the time. It is so easy if you will but do it. With this treatment of the flesh with the energy of the I am presence, it becomes firm and perfect. And what time frame will it become perfect? Firm and perfect? That depends on your practice. If you do it 1 minute a day, that's better than not doing it at all. If you don't do it at all any time during the day, well, you know, and you do it sometimes and then you don't do it, and then you do it sometimes and then you don't do it. That's just like with doing your I am practices. And then you go, something hits you, you know, wicky wacky, and then you go, oh my God, why is this happening? Right? You're running amok, going crazy. You stop coming to the Indigo room. Stop reading your I am discourses. You stop whatever. Whatever practices that you were doing, you stop. Because things were going great. Everything was wonderful. Everything was chill. Everything was chilly. Everything was fine. And then boom, bam, bam, something hits you. Smacks you upside your head and go, what the hell? Everything was going great. God, why? You stopped your practice. It's just like if you stop taking a bath every day, what the heck is going to happen to you? You're going to be stinking. Nobody wants to be around you. Everybody's going to be like, oh my God, you know, you need to take a bath. Sid, what's going on with you? You need to take a bath. Like, no, I took a bath, 2 years ago. And, I stopped taking a bath because, I had it together. Well, you need to take one now. And that's the same thing with your I am presence. It has to become a daily practice. And the thing of it is not, like I said before, it's not something that you have to just sit down and be om all day. You just have to call it in all day. Your thoughts are like mini prayers, if you think about it. So if whatever you're thinking about, that's a prayer. You want that to come about. So if you're thinking wicky wacky, if you're thinking hateful thoughts, if you're thinking fearful thoughts, if you're thinking doubtful thoughts, that's a prayer. Prayers are not just, prayers are not just like, oh God, thank you. I'm so, I want this, where you're praying for something and you're just so love and light. It's not just a moment in time where you take a certain time of day to pray. Prayers are all day long because our thoughts are prayers. And as we continue with Wiki Wacky, so in the minute, you go and you do your prayer, you do your meditation, you call in your I am presence, you do that for 5 minutes, and then you go about the rest of your day in chaos and confusion. Those are your dominant thoughts. That's what's going to manifest for you, because those things are the things that you're focused on all day long. And those are prayers. And you sending that out, thought, feeling, emotion, creates our reality. So I encourage you. What can the inner presence do with the body? We already did that. The reason I speak of this with such deep, earnest feeling today is because I see the change and improvement in almost everyone. And by special conscious attention directed to this, how much more quickly will each be brought into the perfection which he or she desires? When an individual has an abnormal abdomen, and anything that is more than straight is abnormal, he should raise the left hand in this position, palm up, and move the right hand in a rotary motion over the abdomen from left to right. So like this, from left to right. Each time the hand passes over it, feel deeply the absorbing activity. Used to do this every morning too. Not used to, but I do this every morning, right? The quick charge of energy through the hand goes into the cells, contracting and reducing them into a normal condition. I assure you that this instruction is no idle fancy, but it is of tremendous import, and it will accomplish the purpose for which it is used, absolutely without question, if applied with earnest feeling. That's on my, so those two exercises are also on my mirror, on me and my mirror in the morning, when I see them in the morning. The consciousness, of course, should be that the energy flowing through the right hand is the all powerful absorbing presence consuming the unnecessary cells and bringing the body into a perfect normal condition. This will not only adjust the abnormal size of the abdomen, but will penetrate through the form, charging the intestinal activity with a cleansing, purifying process, which will be of in, inestimable, okay. I don't know what inestimable benefit. Those who have found the activity of those organs lazy, will find them quickened into normal action. I assure you that the ladies will not use rolling pins or roll on the floor. Also, I assure you that ladies are not the only ones who use rolling pins. The unfortunate, almost appalling condition is that individuals having within them this mighty God presence will give every imaginable power to outside things to produce results within and upon themselves, when whatever remedial agent they use, whether it be exercise, drugs, or anything else, has little effect, if any, except the quality and power they have consciously given these agents, like the placebo effect, right? We give the pill or whatever it is that we're taking the energy to do what we need to do. Our thought does that. Our consciousness does that. We collectively have agreed that ibuprofen does A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That aspirin does whatever. When really it's us that's creating this, right? It really has little effect, if any, except the quality and power that they have consciously given these agents. This treatment acts upon the cells wherever they are, be they bones or flesh. How prone the outer mind is to question the ability of this inner self to handle any part of the body. If it will handle one kind of a cell, it will handle all. Make the outer accept the full power of the inner presence, and thus let it expand into use in all things. The outer mind, through long habit, has given enormous power to drugs and remedial agents of every kind, but do you not see that the only thing that does it is the power and authority you give it to have an effect upon your body? I do not mean for a single instant that the individuals who have not become aware of the I am presence should cease all remedial agents. That's not what we're saying. That's not what Saint Germain is saying. And that's never what I've said over the 12 years I've been doing Indigo. Take what you need to take. Do what you need to do. Take the drugs. You know, like I said, people would say to me, Sydney, I have a headache and it's been pounding. Number one, go to the doctor. Number two, take the medicine. And then do your I am consciousness while you're taking the medicine. Because you haven't developed the presence yet that's within you. It's already within you, but you haven't developed it and maintained it and sustained it. And once you do that with daily practice, you may find that you don't need the medicine anymore. But right now you do. Take the medicine. Go to the doctor. Do whatever you have to do. And then in keep maintaining that I am presence. Keep maintaining your imagination. Keep revising and doing what you have to do. Linda said, I've forgotten about this one, putting my hands over my body. Yes. So, if they will fix their minds firmly that no outer thing has any power in their experience except what they give it, they will begin to rise out of the limitations into which they have placed themselves. Here, let me say that 90% of the power given to outer things is unconsciously given, and even most students are not aware of it. So I'm going to jump a little bit because we're running out of time, and I don't want to keep you all here. But I really this chapter was so powerful for me this week to remind me to make sure I'm staying in my I am consciousness all day, as best I could all day. Remember, the I am presence knows all things for all eternity in all ways, past, present, and future, without limit. If the student would think of this great presence, contemplate it, and know that it is all love, wisdom, and power, then when he or she fixes their attention on something to be accomplished, he knows that this presence is the open door, the all-powerful accomplishment, and it cannot fail. Call on the law of forgiveness and direct the energy of the master self to correct and adjust the wrong, and in that way obtain freedom from its reaction. You see, my dear people, that there is so much unnecessary power given to the outer activity, the stuff that's going on around us. We think it's our job to figure out how to make it work, how to how is this going to work? What am I going to do? Blah 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 blah. And so we focus so much on the outer. We focus the given to the outer activity and stress of things which the I am presence cares absolutely nothing about. It is at no time concerned with the mistakes of the outer self. If the individual but understood that he could turn away from all of these discordant activities and give the master I am presence within all authority and power to dissolve and dissipate the wrong condition, he or she could never in any way feel the reactions from the wrongdoing. When individuals allow themselves to continue to criticize, condemn, or judge another of their fellow beings, they are not only injuring the other person, but is unknowingly admitting into their own experience the very element that he is seeing wrong in the other person. The true understanding of this will make it easy for individuals to forever cease such undesirable activity, which they know that is for their own protection. So remember last week when I was telling you about the woman and she got me, that supervisor or whoever she was, got me all in a tizzy and I wanted to kick her, I wanted to punch her in her face. I had to do all I could do and call in my I am presence, call in the law of forgiveness for myself for wanting to kick her behind, and also for healing of the situation, to dissolve it. And this week, I didn't have that problem. She wasn't anywhere in my experience. She was gone. So I sent love and light to the situation and even sent healing to her and forgiveness. And for myself for being in the middle of that whole thing. And this week, it was totally different week. Let us put it another way. Whatever the conscious attention is fixed firmly upon, that quality is impelled into your experience of the individual. Whatever an individual sees with deep feeling within another individual, they force this up into their own experience. This is the indisputable proof of why the only desirable feeling to be sent out from any individual is the presence of divine love. I mean by that pure, unselfish love. Students oftentimes wonder why they have so many conditions in their experience to handle as they become more and more sensitive. As we raise our vibration, sometimes it tends to have more wicky-wacky come into your experience. I know some of you have talked about that, and I know it happens to me. The higher level I get in my awareness and my consciousness, the more craziness comes in, right? You're like, well, this should have, why is this happening right now? Why am I going through this, God? Because you know what? I'm doing my work. What's happening? Here's the reason. It is because they see an appearance which they have been taught to know is not real. And by allowing their attention to become fixed upon it, they not only invite it, but force it into their own worlds, and then have a battle in order to clean house. This can be avoided by instantly taking the attention off the appearance and knowing, and this is the statement that I've been using all this week. I am, you can write it down. I am, I know I am free from this thing forever, no matter what it is. I am, I know I am free from this thing forever, no matter what it is. I'm going to say it one more time so Linda can get it, and I'll try to go slow. I am, I know I am free from this thing forever, no matter what it is. I didn't hear y'all saying that. You didn't follow behind me. I heard a couple of you mumbling it in the background. You got to say that. Say it out loud. This all comes, of course, from lack of self-control in the individual or an unwillingness to use the self-control to govern the outer. There are these two, thank you, Linda, for putting that in the chat. There are these two distinct conditions with students. One is willing enough to make the effort, but unknowingly allows his attention to become fixed on the undesirable thing. The other one, through a quality of stubbornness, is unwilling to make the necessary effort to conquer it. No teacher should at any time hold the thought of criticism against any student, and if he does, he will invite the same criticism unto himself. When discrepancies are, I'm going to skip a couple of things, but when discrepancies are forced upon your attention, simply say to your I am presence. There is the I am presence within that person. With the human, I am not concerned. And if you can get that, you're doing a lot. There is the I am presence within that person, and with the human, I am not concerned. It matters not whether it is a person or inanimate object. The moment you see an imperfection, you are forcing that quality into your own experience. That right there should make you want to just stop that nonsense, right? Because you're forcing it. It's a reminder. It's a good reminder. You're forcing that into your own experience. Neville has said the same thing, that if you look around your own experience, you will see that there are some things that are in your experience that you unknowingly wished upon somebody else. They didn't accept the gift, and it came back to the sender. No amount of service can be of any permanent benefit unless the individual first accepts and gives adoration to his own divine self, the mighty I am presence. Those who want to serve the light and really do good should understand this clearly. So when a student says, if I only had the money, what good I could do, it is exactly the reverse thing that they ought to do. If one will enter into the I am presence, he will have all the money he or she wants, and it cannot be kept away from them. Take the stand with everyone. There is only the I am presence acting there in that person. It is much better not to touch upon a thing than to give an insufficient explanation. All outer experience is but a discipline. That's when I realized, okay, so this is why I'm going for this job. I'm being disciplined. This is like my probationary period, right? I'm in the retreat and they're saying, okay, so you think you got it down, Miss Sydney? Really? You good, right? You doing your I am statements, you snatching, catching, snatching, and replacing, right? Okay, great. Here you go. This is where you're going to work. Let's see you. Let's see you now. Because you're becoming more sensitive. You're raising your awareness. You're raising your consciousness. You're doing your work. All right. I'm going to put you in the lion's den. Let's see what you do now. I'm like, oh my God, why am I here? Why am I here? What's happening? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, why I'm doing it? I'm doing everything. Doing my meditation, doing my prayer work. I'm writing stuff down. What? All outer experience is but a discipline. For those who are coming into this work, the present training is really a finishing school or experience, and that is why some of them feel it is a little strenuous. All the ascended hosts feel with great joy the love and gratitude poured out to them, and of course, they respond almost without limit. I am is all there is, everywhere present, visible and invisible. The consciousness most needed for each individual will come from time to time as the students continue in the use of this. Do not let yourselves strain after things. Just take the calm, poised and unbothered, certain attitude of the ascension. Calmly, quickly, lovingly accept it and just be. This avoids tension. Nothing is more powerful than this. Ah, that's the chapter 20 of the I AM Discourses. And I didn't read everything because we ran out of time, you know. So I want you to, if you don't have the book, go get it. And it's chapter 20. You can't get it from my Amazon account no more because they closed that up because nobody was buying anything. And they were like, okay, well, nobody bought anything, so we're closing your account. But you can Google the I AM Discourses, go to Amazon, purchase it yourself. You can't get it through the links that are in the description below because I have to change them all now because they closed the account because none of y'all were using the links. So if you didn't get the book, go get the book, Google it. It's the I AM Discourses Volume 3 that we are reading here. And Gary sent these decrees. Linda's going to be starting to do some of the I AM decrees and putting them up on videos. And we're really looking forward to that. Make sure you check out the blog on the website from Susan Daly, my sister. She's a content creator and she is a interior designer and she is a queen in her own right, a spiritual queen. And she has Universe Speaks, Seeing the Unseen on our website. If you just go to theindigoroom.org and then scroll down, it's towards the bottom underneath the videos that are posted. If you would like some one-on-one coaching, that is available with me You can email me at the Indigo Room 2@gmail.com. The information is also in the description below. And again, we want to thank Sharon for her love donation. We welcome to the new subscribers who have subscribed to the Indigo Room. And if you're new here, this is your first time here, great, welcome. We're here usually every Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll get the schedule back. And that's where we normally discuss the I AM Discourses and Neville. So we're back with Neville and we're doing the resurrection. We're doing the resurrection with Neville. And I believe we're doing assumptions become facts. I think. I'm not sure. I have to check on that. But that'll be Wednesday. God willing and the creek don't rise. I'm going to be working on my I am consciousness to get here Wednesday night. It may be at 9 o'clock instead of 8 because that'll just give me some a little bit of leeway time. Hopefully, I don't know. With this getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I got to get in the bed real early. So we'll see. And also, if you want to follow us on Instagram, you can do that. All the links are in the channel banner up above the website. Above the video here on YouTube. So you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the good social medias. Seek Split. Hi, Seek. How are you? Welcome to the Indigo Room. So have you guys, before we go, how are you going on this week? How is everything going? Just I want to do a really quick check-in, go around. Katrina, Gary, Linda, Barb, Jackie, Ning is still here. High Moon Vibes and who was that? Oh my goodness, I can't remember everybody's name. The new people. So how is your week going? How are you guys doing? What's going on? Everything is good? Oh, the light went out. The light went out in Georgia. Everything is good with everybody, and then we can roll out of here. If you don't have anything else to share, then we can leave. You can go on about the rest of your Sunday. If you don't have anything else to share. But I do want to thank you all for joining me this week. It was crazy week, but we got through it. Going well spiritually. Awesome, Linda. That's good. Barb says, all good and getting better and better. All righty. Well, that's good to hear too. I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that. But we do have some new people who joined us last week. We have Sandy, and I always cannot remember her name, but she's from Baltimore, and she always says hello from Baltimore. Oh my God, I can't remember her name right now. Lord have us mercy. But I want to say hello to them. Janice, that's her name, Janice Mitchell. I want to say hello to Janice Mitchell in McNeil, not Mitchell, Janice in Baltimore. That's what her name was. And thank you all for being here. And hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday night. All right. And Seek, thank you for joining us. We are done now. And I hope you all have a great week. Jackie, I hope you have a great week too. I know I didn't get a chance to talk to you that much, but I'm glad you joined us today. And if you can hit the thumbs up button, at the end of the video, we'll put up the videos from last week. They'll be here and here and here and here, and my face will be somewhere in between, and you can subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I also want to thank Blah, who was so gracious, and she was one of our, and Amira's not here today either, but she was one of our guests and I really appreciate her. And if you want to check your financial, she did a financial reading for all signs. If you want to check out your financial reading for November, you can still catch the video, and I'll post it up here as well. And you can check on that. And she gave us some really great information. I know Linda has found it great and useful. And I did, and I'm sure others have as well. I don't know, but you should check it out. It was a lot of fun. The video is a little wonky, but you can get through it. Katrina said, my week has been great. That's awesome. So I love you. Remember who you are. Remember that you are source energy right here in a physical body. Remember that you can be, do, and have anything that you desire. Also, remember, it's not being extraordinary that makes you unique. It is your uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. Have a great week. I will see you, God willing, and the creek don't rise, on Wednesday at 8 p.m. I love you. Bye.